This is what happens when you perfectly combine makeup, artificial intelligence, and skincare. Made in collaboration with goodformulations.com. Thanks to them for letting me test their formulas and service. Let's start with the base of our body butter. I'm using this soft and creamy kupuasu butter, alongside kokum butter, but you could also substitute this with cocoa butter. Stearic acid provides firmness and stability and comes in the form of small white flakes. So this is a no-whip body butter recipe. Whilst whip butters are very aesthetic and there are a lot of tutorials on them, including my own, they're just too volatile to make a reliable base for our bronzer. In this case, we want a stable butter that won't just melt at the first sign of sun. To enhance the feel and spreadability of this body butter bronzer, I'm using cetearyl alcohol, which has emollient and moisturizing properties. And to keep the butter light and relatively fast absorbing, I'm also using cocoa caprylic caprate, which is a bit of a mouthful, but it's just a lightweight emollient derived from coconut oil. It's similar to fractionated coconut oil, but with an even lighter feel. I'm also using grapeseed oil, which can be used as a substitute for cocoa caprylic caprate if you don't have it. Melt the body butter base over low, gentle heat, making sure to stir routinely to avoid hot spots and uneven melting. While everything is melting, I just want to say a massive thank you for all of the support that I've received on this channel, and I really appreciate the warm welcome back. I've actually got some really cool videos planned for the end of the year, so do make sure that you have the notification bell turned on, because at this point my upload schedule is more than a little irregular. When it comes to making the bronzer side, ingredients are key. Makeup powders are great for colouring products, but they don't usually have enough colour payoff to actually tint your skin. Now, if you just use straight bronze or gold micas like you see here, you'll end up with a coloured product that looks pretty pigmented when used directly on the skin, but your final product will mostly just have a sparkly or pearlescent glow, similar to my shimmer lotion and body oil tutorials. For a bronzer that actually tints your skin, like foundations or lipstick, you'll need to use some natural iron oxides or pigment powders. That way you can still get a little shimmer, but you'll have much more colour payoff. I actually have a tutorial showing you how to make these really pigmented moisturising lip balms, so definitely check that video out if you're interested in making coloured products. To make the bronzing element, I'm using a mixture of bronze pigment powder, yellow iron oxide, and a synthetic gold mica. This combination gives the skin a really pretty bronze tint, while still being sheer enough to complement a wide range of skin tones. But this is only a guide, so feel free to experiment and personalize it to you. I'm also adding cornstarch to make it a little less greasy on the skin. Body butters have a high oil content, so it's always a good idea to try and reduce any heaviness associated with that. Once this is combined, pour in a lightweight oil and whisk until you have this pure liquid bronze, and there are absolutely no lumps. If it's not completely smooth at this stage, you'll end up with a grainy body butter that's full of weird pockets of coloured powder. So take the time to ensure that there are no lumps. Once the body butter base is melted, we need to cool it down until it reaches trace. This is essentially a semi-solid state. It should have thickened slightly and look opaque, but still be liquid. Pour in the bronze pigment and whisk enthusiastically until it's one homogeneous texture, and the pigment is spread evenly throughout. This will take a few minutes, but it makes all the difference. This is the stage to add in your cool down ingredients, like preservatives and fragrance. Here I'm using Optifen, but use your favourite broad spectrum preservative that's also suitable for anhydrous products. And it's always a good idea to use an antioxidant like vitamin E oil. Now give it a final whisk to incorporate all of those ingredients. And whilst it's not strictly necessary, you could optionally blend this for about 30 seconds just to ensure that everything is evenly distributed. The mixture you see here made 200 grams, which was enough to fill 1 3/4 of these containers. But as always, WholeElise.com has the full written recipe, along with a free formula calculator to help with scaling in both metric and imperial, so that you can just adjust the instructions to make the perfect amount. This has a wonderful consistency that sets firm, but is still scoopable with your hands and melts into your skin. I'd say this was a success, but there are a few limitations. You don't usually use body butters all year round. Do you see where I'm going with this? Ta-da! Now this is a cream bronzer. Not to be confused with a makeup cream bronzer. This is an actual body cream with bronzing capabilities that gives your skin a deep, rich, healthy glow. Same basic principles. All I did was combine a moisturizer with a bronzer, but this time I used a lighter, less intensive cream. You could actually use this on your face, although at that point you might as well just use a regular bronzer. Let me show you how to make this with the help of goodformulations.com. So I'm on goodformulations.com, and we should be able to tell it the type of moisturizer that we want, and it will instantly give us a formula. No, this isn't a sci-fi channel, but if this works, Formulator Pro might just be the future. Okay, so they have a product type here, and I'm going to select lotion, so that way it's not too moisturizing. So they also let you include specific ingredients. So I'm going to pick cupuaçu butter, as well as a coconut oil ester. And that way we keep it consistent with the body butter bronzer that we just made. And for consistency, I think I'm going to leave it at medium because I still want it to be a relatively thick cream. It's formulating. Hang tight. And just like that, we've got a formula. Okay, I'm going to pause here because this next part is mind-blowing. Once it creates a custom formula, you don't just have to accept it. You can add or replace ingredients to get exactly what you're looking for. So here it uses Olivum 1000. But what if you don't like Olivum? Or maybe you just don't have that emulsifier? Well, all I need to do is to select the ingredient that I want to use instead. In this case, Montanov 68, and click Formulate. The AI is actually smart enough to substitute the ingredients in the formula with whatever ingredients I select, as well as make any necessary adjustments so that the formula still works. And the best part is, it works in reverse as well. So say you didn't want to use Optifen Plus as your preservative. Under More Options, it lets you select ingredients that you don't want it to formulate with. And now it suggests an alternative preservative without me having to think of one myself. Just remember to always press Formulate after any changes you make, or it's not going to do much of anything. Oh, and it also includes these really handy product reports that gives you an instant breakdown of the formula. How's that for mind-blowing? But is it any good? Let's put this to the test. So the AI-generated formula that we got from goodformulations.com includes the ingredients that we selected, along with the water elements, emulsifiers, percentages, and phases needed to make it into a cream. It's already taken care of the hardest part, which is formulating a stable emulsion. But because this is a cream formula, despite having the same emollient as our body butter bronzer, you can see here that the process to make it is completely different. So once we've made our custom cream formula, we can actually do whatever we want with it. So you could just use this as a regular body cream, or you're free to use it as a base for whatever product you'd like to create next. In this case, I want to make a bronzing cream. So I'm just going to add the same bronzing powders that I used in the previous body butter recipe to this cream. It is really that simple. It works. Okay, so for anyone who's shocked and confused, goodformulations.com has a great selection of pre-made skin and hair care product formulas. But if you subscribe to their monthly subscription service, Formulator Pro, you can design your own formulas. And it literally figures out the percentages, the phases, and ingredients. And because it's AI powered, as we've just seen, it does it instantly. I'm impressed. You don't even get this type of tailored formulation assistance from paid courses. And right now, goodformulations.com is offering a 25% discount on their monthly subscription service to Formulator Pro. This discount is exclusive to WholeElise subscribers. Make sure to use the code WholeElise at the checkout to get the discount.